It's often said that football is a short career, but some players are determined not to let that be the case. Stanley Matthews was still playing for England at 42, still playing in the top flight at 50, won a Ballon d'Or at 41, and was named as FWA Footballer of the Year at 48. Although Sir Stan did eventually call it a day at 50, he often quipped that he still had 2 good years left in him, and you could tell he was only half joking. As soon as a footballer turns 30, people can begin to analyse their game more intensely, looking for signs that their powers are beginning to desert them. Today, we're looking at 7 players defying the laws of time and still going strong in their mid to late 30s. Here are our 7 best players in world football over the age of 35. Xavi. In 7th place is probably the most controversial inclusion in this 7. The oldest outfield player in this 7, we have placed Xavi ahead of players in far more competitive leagues like Petr Cech and Michael Carrick. However, those of you like me who are weird enough to follow the Qatar Stars League will know that the Spaniard is playing brilliantly right now. This is Xavi's 3rd and final season in Qatar ahead of his retirement, and he already has 5 goals in 10 games and is on another level to those around him. Xavi is one of the greatest midfielders in the history of the game. A footballing genius, the 4-time Champions League and 1-time World Cup winner's intelligence and technical prowess has allowed him to keep playing brilliantly until the age of 38. Aritz Aduriz. In 6th place is another Spaniard, but this one is still playing in La Liga. A real late bloomer, Aduriz didn't score his first La Liga goal until a month before his 26th birthday, yet he has gone on to score more than 150 La Liga goals, currently only 2 shy of overtaking Frank Puskas in the all-time rankings. A smart, hard-working and clinical centre-forward, Aduriz scored 36 goals a couple of seasons ago. Now aged 37, he has already scored 19 goals in 40 games for Athletic Bilbao this season. David Villa. It is a mightily difficult task splitting Aritz Aduriz and David Villa on current ability, but we just about think Villa deserves the nod. Probably a somewhat underrated player outside of Spain for much of his career, Villa has been prolific for every club he has ever played for, and nothing's changed at 36. The former Barcelona and Valencia man headed stateside in 2014, joining New York City FC, and in the near 4 years since, he has scored 66 goals in 101 games. A 2-time MLS Best 11 inclusion, Villa even returned to the Spain setup in August 2017 after 3 years away. Pepe. Every player in this 7 so far is best remembered for their time in Spain, and Pepe is yet another. The Brazilian-born Portuguese international has been capped 91 times by his adopted home, with whom he won the Euros in 2016. That trophy joined a whole host of others in the former Real Madrid centre-backs trophy cabinet. Pepe spent 10 seasons with Los Blancos, but left the club for Besiktas in the summer. Currently 2nd in the Turkish Super League, Besiktas topped their Champions League group before getting smashed by Bayern Munich in the knockout stage. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. An incredibly difficult player to rank in this 7, it remains to be seen what level Zlatan Ibrahimovic will be at when he returns from his most recent injury, so there's a fair amount of guesswork involved here. However, we've seen Zlatan be written off before, so one ought to do so with a fair degree of caution, and the big Swede bagged 28 goals in 46 games last season. One of the finest centre-forwards of his generation, Ibrahimovic has scored 421 goals at club level. He is Sweden's all-time leading scorer and was until recently PSG's all-time top scorer too. Andrea Barzagli. Just edging out Zlatan Ibrahimovic into 2nd, on the grounds that he is currently fully fit, playing, and still impressing at the very highest level, it is Andrea Barzagli. Italian defenders often seem to have a timelessness about them, and that certainly seems to be true of Barzagli. A 6-time Serie A winner and 1-time Bundesliga and World Cup winner, Barzagli is still a regular with a Serie A table-topping Juventus side, who are also into the Champions League quarter-finals. Arguably still the greatest man marker in world football, Barzagli is remarkably consistent despite the fact he will be 37 by the end of this season. Gianluigi Buffon. Juventus dominate the top 2 places in this 7, and comfortably top of this 7 is also the oldest player to feature here, 40-year-old Gianluigi Buffon. One of the greatest goalkeepers to have ever lived, it would be disingenuous to claim that Buffon is as good now as he ever was, but he still ranks among the top few goalkeepers on the planet. A 4-time Ballon d'Or nominee, capped 175 times by Italy, Buffon has pretty much stated that he will retire at the end of this season, with the possible exception of having one more campaign if Juventus win the Champions League. So that's it for our top 7, but there should be some honourable mentions in the video description below. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to HITC Sevens.